Hello everyone, I am Dr. Poonam, Associate Professor English, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar Government College, Shri Ganganagar. Today we will discuss the poem Our Casuarina Tree, written by an Indian writer Toru Dutt. First of all, I will read the text, then we will discuss the summary of the poem and the main points of the poem. Like a huge python, winding round and round, the rugged trunk, indented deep with scars, up to its very summit, near the stars, a creeper climbs, in whose embraces, bound, no other tree could live. But gallantly the giant wears the scarf, and flowers are hung in crimson clusters, all the boughs among, whereon all day are gathered bird and bee, and oft at nights the garden overflows with one sweet song that seems to have no close, sung darkling from our tree while man repose. When first my casement is wide open thrown, at dawn my eyes delighted on it rest. Sometimes, and most in winter, on its crest, a grey baboon sits statue-like alone, watching the sunrise, while on lower boughs his puny offspring leap about and play. And far and near, kokilas hail the day, and to their pastures wend our sleepy cows, and in the shadow on the broad tank cast, by that haw tree so beautiful and vast, the water lilies spring like snow and mast. But not because of its magnificence, dear is the casuarina to my soul. Beneath it we have played, though years may roll. O sweet companions, loved with love intense, for your sakes shall the tree be ever dear. Blent with your images, it shall arise in memory, till the hot tears blind mine eyes. What is that dirge-like murmur that I hear, like the sea breaking on a single beach? Is it the tree's lament, an airy speech, that haply to the unknown land may reach? Unknown, yet well known, to the eyes of faith. Ah, I have heard that wail far, far away, in distant lands by many a sheltered bay, when slumbered in his cave the water wraith, and the waves gently kissed the classic shore of France or Italy. Beneath the moon, when earth lay tranced in a dreamless swoon, and every time the music rose, before mine inner vision rose a form sublime, thy form, O tree, as in my happy prime I saw thee in my own loved native clime. Therefore I fain would consecrate a lay unto thy honor, tree beloved of those who now in blessed sleep, for a repose dearer than life to me, alas, were they. Mayest thou be numbered when my days are done with deathless trees like those in Borodale, under whose awful branches lingered pale fear, trembling, hope, and death, the skeleton, and time, the shadow. And though weak the words that would thy beauty fain, O fain rehearse, may love defend thee from oblivion's curse. टेक्स्ट में हमने पढ़ा किस प्रकार से कवयित्री तोरू दत्त कैजुरिना ट्री को रिमेंबर करते हुए ये पोएम लिखती हैं. आवर कैजुरिना ट्री is a poem published in 1881 by Toru Dutt, an Indian poet. In this poem, Toru Dutt celebrates the majesty of the casuarina tree that she used to see by her window and remembers her happy childhood days spent under it and revives her memories with her beloved siblings, it still remains one of the most popular poems in modern Indian literature. So, we are going to discuss the summary here now. The poem begins with the description of the tree. The poet says that the creeper has wound itself around the rugged trunk of the casuarina tree like a huge python. It is like a huge python. Huge python is a very big snake. The creeper has left deep marks on the trunk of the tree. The tree is so strong that it bears the tight hold of the creeper. The creeper holds the tree very tightly. The tree is described as being gallant. The tree is described by the poet that the tree is very gallant and it is possibly brave, as very few trees could survive in the strange hold of this creeper. The poet then goes on to describe the life that thrives amidst every facet of the tree. The tree is a metaphorical sad as a giant due to its huge size, strength and boldness. The casuarina tree is covered with creeper which bears red crimson flowers which appear as though the tree is wearing a colorful scarf. It seems as the tree is wearing a colorful scarf around its neck. And next, the poet says that often at night the garden echoes and it seems to be jubilant, and the song of a nightingale has no end. She was listening at the time of night. The poet was listening the song of nightingale near the tree. It continues, the song of the nightingale continues till dawn, till morning. Dawn is the morning. At dawn, when the poet opens her window, she is delighted to see the casuarina tree. She is very happy. At the time of morning, when she opens her window, she is very happy, and why she is happy? That she is delighted. She is happy because when she opens her window, she sees casuarina tree first of all. Mostly in winters, a grey baboon is seen sitting on the crest of the tree, seeing the sunrise with her younger ones, leaping and playing in the tree's boughs. The shadow of the tree appears to fall on the huge water tank. Torudutt says that it is not because of the majestic appearance of the casuarina tree that it is dear to her heart and soul, but also that she along with her sibling spent happy moments under it. She had, as we know, that Torudutt, the poetess, had a sister, a brother, and both the sister and brother, they died. So she is remembering her brother and sister also when she is remembering the casuarina tree. And the shadow of the tree appears to fall on the huge water tank. Torudutt says that it is not because of the majestic appearance. It is not the majestic appearance of the casuarina tree that she is remembering that tree, but she was happily spent her days with her brother and sister there. That's why she is remembering that tree also. Torudutt has brought out the theme of nature as something that shares feeling with humans, that lightens the burden on the heart. The poet continues with the description of how strong the image of the tree is, even when in lands far away. She was not in her own country. the poet was not in her own country. She was residing in France. She was studying in Italy. So when she was studying in Italy, she was studying in France. So she could listen the voices from there. And the shadows of the tree in her memories was alive. And the poet continues that how the description of the strong image of the tree is still lingers in her memory when she is residing in the lands, faraway lands. Even when she is residing, when she is studying in France, she is studying in Italy, and she can hear the trees lament. The tree is lamenting. The poet wishes to consecrate the tree's memory and importance for the sake of those who are now dead. The sister and the brother both are no more. They are no more, they are dead now, and looks ahead to her own death, hoping that the tree be spared obscurity. And in this way, she immortalizes the tree through this poem, like in the same way, just as Wordsworth sanctified the yew trees of Borrowdale. The trees of Borrowdale in the poetry of Wordsworth. Wordsworth also remembers the trees of Borrowdale in his poetry. She says, "May love defend thee from oblivion's curse." So, she expresses her wish that love shield this tree against the curse of forgetfulness, means oblivion, the curse of oblivion, that the tree be remembered out of love, not because it cannot be forgotten. Oblivion's curse, the inability to be forgotten. So the tree can't be forgotten by everyone because it is immortal. In the poem Our Casuarina Tree, written by Toru Dutt. Thank you.